Hey, this is Never Easy. This is the Anything and Everything podcast. This is Allie.
And this is Chioma, and make sure you subscribe and like our video and hit the notification bell to get notifications for all of our videos. So we just want to talk right now about some of the ideas that we have for our channel and even the podcast, things that we want to do in the future. And like we've said in other episodes, we want to get on camera so that you guys can see our beautiful faces. It might be a little bit more awkward, on camera because we have to, look at it. I mean, we can also look at each other, but looking at it is like looking at the audience. So that may be a little bit awkward, but we're going to come out of our comfort zone. I also think we should do, a blog, try to vlog. So I said blog and vlog as well. So you guys can see other things that we do on the channel that aren't really necessarily related to the podcast, but just the channel in general.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because I want to broaden our
horizons.
That too. But I mean broaden our viewers, just because obviously not all of our viewers are going to watch every content that we have, and that's okay. That's kind of how I wanted it to be in the sense that not every episode is going to relate to every person.
Yeah.
Right? So you may not relate right now to us being recent college graduates, but you might like our stories about our families. And that's okay. But anyway, yeah. So we were actually just talking about kind of what we want to do on camera, which is a lot we can go with. But one of them I was thinking about. Someone gave me the idea of going through our old social media posts.
Ew.
And having our natural reactions to them. So I think that would be fun because then we could have it in a way that we could show you what we're looking at too, and then you can understand why we're cringing or why I think it's funny or maybe that person's not in our life anymore, but they were super important at the time.
Yeah.
All these things. I feel like I even see that on people's social media now. They post about it. They're like, haha, I can't believe this happened. Just
yeah, I was so crusty. I see Facebook throws our memories back in our faces so disrespectfully.
Yes.
I see these things. I go back on these pictures. They are just crusty and dusty, and I thought they were cute. I really did. And
because
the styles.
we were the first generation in a way of growing up on social media.
Oh yeah, because part of our lives weren't on with phones. Because I remember phones were not touchscreen; they were flip. Yep. They were all that stuff. And then
the pink razor.
Then all of a sudden, there's touchscreen, and oh my goodness.
Do you remember that? I had a phone that was
Sidekick.
No, I don't think was it the Sidekick.
Sidekick flip.
No, it wasn't that. No, it was so it looked like a normal touchscreen phone, but then it slid up and then it was a full keyboard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's kind of like the Sidekick, but it wasn't Sidekick.
But it wasn't.
I had something like that too, and I thought I was the stuff.
It was so cool because it was and then I realized later on, I'm these things were so tiny. And it was a full keyboard. I don't know how. I just thought it was the coolest thing.
That reminds me, my dad had a phone that had some phones used to come with songs already downloaded or things already downloaded. Oh yeah. His phone came with the music video Smack That. And my dad...
I almost spit out my water.
His whole life, my dad, he had phones, but he never, used them for anything but to call.
Yeah.
And so he just would call. So I was like, Dad, I want to have your phone. So I'd be in the car, and I'd be listening to Smack That.
Oh my gosh.
And my dad had to eventually be like, Chioma, stop. Because that's all. I would watch it over and over again. Over and over again. And I loved it. Smack That. Give me some more. Over and over again. Over again. So that reminded me of his phone because he had that phone that did that thing. And I remember when he got a BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry.
We're that old. We're not even old, but BlackBerries, people were using those. Legit, the old ones.
And those were the cool phones. If you had a BlackBerry, you were
you were rich. That was a rich thing. If you watch
I was
gonna
say you were the shit, but that too.
If you watch those movies where people have BlackBerries, those the rich people with their BlackBerry and stuff. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But the razors, yeah, everyone with a razor.
Pink razor, yep.
And we had pink razors, but they're old pink razors.
And
my
first
mom had.
phone was a Firefly.
I don't even know what that looks like.
It's you could call about 3 people, and one of them was probably 911. It was the most tiny phone. It was blue, and it had I think 3 buttons on it. And,
I know.
And you programmed.
You had one of those? They had you.
You programmed which numbers were in there, and then it was by the number or something like that. But I remember it was bright blue, and it had about 3 buttons on it. My dad got it for me.
My first phone was 6th grade. It was a Nokia brick. You couldn't.
Oh yeah,
you couldn't even go to the internet with that. You couldn't. You couldn't do nothing but play.
Do you
games.
remember though when you had like a razor or like I had another phone and like if you hit the middle button you would like go to the internet and you're like no and, like it would freak myself out.
Oh my gosh! And it's funny because like I had that little phone. I thought it was the stuff, you know. And could you text? Yeah, you could text back then. Yeah. But it was so hard to text.
Because you had to like do the what was it 7-9 not 7-9 but like
you had to click and it's funny because I upgraded to another phone that I thought was like so cute because it looked like a knockoff BlackBerry, so I thought it was cute. And back then and by that time I was in middle school, and in middle school not everybody had like a phone or anything like that, and so people would use my phone to text other people throughout the day, and they would bring me back my phone at the end of the day. And they would leave their text messages. So one of my friends, she was trying to text, like, some guy she met online. And literally, I was like, what? Oh, my gosh.
It's called T9.
What's T9? Oh, that phone?
No. The text of, like, being able to text it and not have to do the 3 different,
oh, my
do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you do the 3 different letters. It's called T9 text.
Oh, my goodness. Like, at my work, like, the phones are still like that, where it's like, click, click, click. That's all it is. But that was like, ew. And then it's funny when you think about these phones, because when we do this on the camera and we show these pictures, some of the pictures will show the phone. So I'll like point out that's the phone I'm talking about.
I even have pictures like that, but not with the phone, but with my camera. Like I had a little like digital camera, and I thought it was so cool because I could take pictures with it.
Kids nowadays, I feel like are really unsatisfied. We were really satisfied with technology. Yeah. Like, whenever we had any little thing, we were sad. We were like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
Just like the Barbie video camera?
Yeah. Nowadays, they get stuff. They are not great. They don't know what we had. And the people before us who didn't even have any technology.
We actually, my boyfriend and I just had a conversation about that the other day. We're like, we don't even know how we could, not necessarily survive, because obviously people survived, but like knowing what we know now of how technology is, and then to live in the 50s, like, we couldn't survive.
No, literally, I made that argument in a philosophy class, and this guy tried to argue with me. I was arguing that without Google Maps, a lot of people would die. They wouldn't be able to do anything. He's like, no, we know how to get around. I said, no. I said, he said, we just use it because we like it. I said, no. I said, literally, if people did not have their phones and things, they would die. They couldn't get anywhere. And I know for me, like, when I get around and stuff, like, I use,
I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Not that you would die, like, you would keel over and into your own grave right next to you, but you wouldn't be able to function like people would back in the day, because we are now, that is a part of being a human, is having technology. Now, people who don't use technology at all, they're fine. They're not going to have that problem. But those of us who are accustomed, like when you don't have your phone, you're like, how am I going to contact my boyfriend? How am I going to call my mom? You can't if you don't have a phone.
It's called saving the number in your head. So
no, you can't if you don't have a phone. Like, take phones out of the equation. How are you going to talk to your mom? You can send her a letter, but how are you going to tell her you need her right now?
I know. We talked about that, too, because he was like, you realize how long mail takes? And I was like, oh, my God, you're right. Like, because that's what they would do. And then the telegrams, that was before, well, mail, too, but, like, that was how you would have letters.
Say your car breaks down somewhere and you don't have a phone. And no one has a phone. How are you going to tell them to come get you? How are you going to know where you at? How are you going to know? The fact that, like, back in the day, people could literally live, get home, communicate with their significant others, and communicate with everything, and family, and they were fine. But nowadays, it's actually, like, impossible. Like, literally, if you don't have a phone, if you can't even get to your email on your computer, if you can't, anything that's an instant message, like, life, it's hard to survive. Like, there's times where you probably are, like, in a, like, almost a life-threatening situation, and because you had a phone or something, you got out of that. Imagine.
You know what? I even do that, too, like last night, we were just going to the movie theaters, and I was going to the bathroom, and I wasn't going to take my phone, and then I took my phone in the case that, like, something happened.
That's what I do. I think as technology has increased, dangers have increased as well.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the world has always been dangerous, but
it's more reported, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So it feels like there's more crime, but in reality, I think it's also just, it's more reported, which means everyone knows about it now. Whereas before, when stuff would happen, you'd hear it sometimes on the local news.
Well, if it wasn't happening in your local area, it wasn't happening.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, like, now with social media, that in that way, social media has really helped society because it's helping us see what really goes on in all aspects of the world. That's
true. That's why technology has, like, it has like good things and bad things. And like you were saying, like I will take my phone to the bathroom with me if I'm at home because I'm like, what if someone breaks in? Well, I decided to go to the bathroom, and that's such a reality now. But if you think back like the 50s or when you didn't have any like back, how are people? If someone broke into your home, how are you gonna?
But I think also,
but also back then people might not have been breaking into homes, like, because what you got to steal, like, there were still robbers and thieves, but nowadays, like, people will just walk
like they
up
actually
to your,
have things. But I think
neighborhoods are more
that
dangerous.
also has to do with like how people were living.
Yeah.
Because like right now, it's just especially in California in general. Everything is impacted. Yeah. Like, we live on top of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that has a lot to do with it,
and you can assume that people have phones and things of value in their houses. Back then, didn't nobody have no technology. They had, like, silver and
like, even getting, jewels, like, a microwave.
But you know that everybody has something that you want.
Like, a microwave was considered a luxury at the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Back TVs that didn't even have any color and you could barely see anything. Those were luxuries. Simple things were like, wow. And now we have everything now. That's crazy.
Like, I remember even, because my mom, she loved watching, or she still does, obviously. Yeah. I Love Lucy. And I grew up with it, too.
I know you love that show.
I don't watch it as often, because my boyfriend doesn't like it, and he's like, why do we watch black and white TV? But anyways, that's beside the point. No, but I think it was also funny, because I think, like, watching those type of shows also teaches you about the culture of what was going on in that day. In a sense of, like, what was valuable to people. Yeah. You know what I'm like? Because one of the episodes, it was about the TV, that they bought their friends a TV set. Mm-hmm. And then something happened, and one of them got mad. Like, they were trying to fix the wires to make it work, and then it sparked. Oh, my God. And it was, like, the end of the world because they had spent so much money on this TV. And it was, like, probably a 20-inch screen TV. Like, it was so tiny, but to them, it just taught you, it showed you, like, the value of how much that was to a person.
That reminds me, and maybe one of the things that we could do in here is, like, going to the thrift store and finding things. Like, maybe we could vlog it. Mm-hmm. Finding things from our childhood that we use. Mm-hmm. You know those mini little TVs? I remember watching TV. Oh, yes. And they weren't like a DVD player. It was a little box. It was a little TV. Like an actual TV.
No, wait.
It was a mini, the television with the big back in the back of it? Okay. My mom still has one of those in her room. I'm telling you, that's a dinosaur.
I'm thinking of something else.
No, an actual, like a television set, like the ones we had back in the day. Uh-huh. Shrink that down. I remember watching TV on one of those. I forgot who had it, but I was like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
And you had to turn the dial to try to see the picture. I said, I'm living in the dark ages.
What? No, I'm thinking
I'm talking about an actual television set that was shrunk down into like a little square.
Thinking of those little, like,
it was cute.
It was like a kid thing, and then you put like a disc in it, and it had different pictures on it.
Oh, that's not actual TV. I'm talking about one that plugged in.
But you know what is that called though? Like, where you would I know what you're snapshot the picture, and then, like, the next one would come up and you would hear it. Oh, it was, like, red. I remember it being red, and, like, the handle would be yellow, and then you'd put the different discs in there.
You know what, people? We might have to do a vlog at Goodwill and literally find these things that we use. Bop it. Oh, my. We have to, because all these things are still at the Goodwill. Like, when I go there, I look at stuff, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, like. And I don't know how much people are buying unless they like antiques or old stuff, but we can find all those kind of things.
That used to be, there's actually an antique store like right by my house.
But antiques are probably like old stuff. Like.
I mean, like, speaking of Goodwill, that reminds me, my great-grandparents, because obviously I live with them, I've talked about that. Yeah. So, that used to be our day. So we would go to Goodwill, and because my great-grandma loved knickknacks. Like, her entire house was filled with either pictures or knickknacks. So we would go to Goodwill and find whatever we needed to find, which is usually we didn't need anything, but we got stuff anyways. And then we would go to Carl's Jr. And, like, that was our day.
Carl's Jr. is everything. Also, there's something about their burger.
Which also reminds me of, what was I going to say? When we were going through stuff at my great-grandparents' house, so, like, just trying to get rid of things that we didn't want, like, all that kind of stuff, we had put stuff in trash bags, which, in reality, we probably shouldn't have done that, but we put stuff in trash bags that, like, we didn't want anymore, or we didn't want, and then what we wanted. Yeah.
And you threw away what you wanted.
Yes, and so then we went to Goodwill, like maybe that same week, and for some reason I had a doll. It was called Buddy, or like Little Buddy, and apparently they were like well known in like the 70s or 80s. I think they were really creepy dolls. Now that I think about it, but I found him at Goodwill.
And Your same one?
Yes, and I was like, oh my god, this was from our house. Like, and then I kept going, and like all this stuff was from our house. So like we had to pick through like what we really wanted, and then like we left. I mean, because we're not gonna buy everything back. But it was just crazy that because it was a simple mistake.
That's like, such a Toy Story moment. Remember Toy Story where he meant to put the bag in the attic, but his mom thought it was trash, and then threw it out on the curb? Mm-hmm. That is crazy. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It was a crazy moment. I was just like, did this really happen?
And also I think we talked about with like foods that we like that are nasty to other people. So we want to do that on camera and show you all. And that's crazy. Tell them a little bit about, not exactly about the food, so they can be surprised when they see it.
Yeah. So there's like a few different foods that like, again, my great grandpa would eat, and everyone would think it'd be weird. So I'm gonna make her try that, and then Chioma had a few ideas that she eats herself. Like one of them, I just looked at her and I'm like, I'm not eating that.
Basically, Cheez-Its and Yoplait yogurt. It's specifically Yoplait, and it's just so good. Like I don't know, one day I was like eating yogurt and I had Cheez-Its. I put them together. I said, this is heaven. This is what everyone needs to know.
I don't know about that. But but we have to try everything, because if I put stuff out that you're not going to like or you may not like, then it would be that. But we also wanted to talk about, like, since we were talking about antiques and stuff, what would we consider antique as of 2019?
We Googled it and it said it belonged to ancient times, and that having a high value because of its age. So, it'd have to be much older than things that were in the 90s or even the 2000s. Like, much old.
Like, in the 50s and 60s. But even, like...
Like, yeah.
But I feel like even some of the... I think it depends on the... not the population. Yeah, I guess the population. Because, like, people... and the generation. Because people that grew up in, I don't know, the 50s or 60s, they're gonna know that as, like... I don't know. I feel like they won't see it as like antiques.
It's based off of who you are if it's antique to you. Like for us, yeah. Well, it has to be. It says belong. The second one says belong to ancient times, like old stuff, old. But also it just has high value because of its age. So the older it is, it has higher value because it's rare. Yeah. So, like things they were saying that we could find at Goodwill, you can't really find that anywhere else.
Yeah. Like at my great grandparents, they did depression glass. Mm-hmm. And so they got depression glass in every color, and then gave it to like they collected it for their grandchildren. Oh, wow. Like the girls of the grandchildren. So that's like being passed down. And so I think that was cool. And then that reminded me because Michael's grandma went through her like garage basically. And she gave us some stuff, and she gave us like a tea set, and I was like, this is definitely old. And then there was something else. She gave us more depression glass, and it was the white version. And I was like, hey, this is depression glass. My boyfriend's like, what? Like he didn't, but I knew what it was because of my great grandparents. Like I knew that they collected it, and then it has value, you know.
Oh my goodness! And I guess if you keep it in your house, like if you sell it, then the money then it's gone. But if you hold on to it, it's also like with you.
Antiques have a lot to do with the story behind it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think that has a lot to do with it. Because you can have, like, let's say, I mean, even we have, like, that little Mickey chair in my house right now. It's just a Mickey chair from the 90s, but it holds value to my boyfriend, right? Because it was his as a kid. Whereas someone else would be like, okay, it's a Mickey chair.
I didn't get rocked in no chair. I'm jealous.
Like, it's just different. Like, everyone has different things that are valuable. Like, I can think of something... my mom got this thing from it was literally IKEA, and it was a toy chest, and it's just wooden. But every time I open that, I think of my childhood because I had all of my toys in there or things I didn't want to put away, and I would just stuff in. Which I haven't changed much for that.
That's a gold bracelet that my mom had for me when I was a baby. I still have it. Don't nobody try to rob me. Y'all not gonna find it. But I still have it, and it's gold. And I was like, should I go pawn this off? But it's so little. Because, like, it's a bracelet.
Yeah.
Growing up, I tried to put it on. And I was like, I don't know why I'm trying to put this on.
I had one, small too. Wrist. Well, I had one that, like, kind of grew with me. Or, like, I got it when I was younger. But then, somehow or another, we lost it at a soccer field. So that was kind of sad.
But maybe I'll bring mine in, like, for, like, on camera. Because it's so cute. It's a little gold thing. And I was like...
I even have like a jewelry box that I have that I think my dad got from Kuwait. I think it was Kuwait, yeah. And it, like, sings and stuff, but I have, like, all my jewelry in there that is, like, sentimental.
Oh, I have one that had the, what is that?
Like when you open it up and it's like
a ballerina.
Yeah, a ballerina.
And spinning around and it's in the song.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
We had that. Oh my god.
They used to have Disney ones like that too. Like they were Disney princesses, and then they would do the same thing.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it takes me back. I miss childhood.
You know what? Another thing that reminds me of with like coming through the holidays, through the holidays are coming, right? Is Christmas ornaments. That was like. Well, one, like, my family, we would always, like, try and decorate the tree together because that was just something that we love to do. But every one of our Christmas ornaments usually has a story.
Oh, wow.
Like, we either got it on vacation or my great-grandma used to have these. I don't know why, but every time I see them, now I think of her, and it's a happy memory. But she had these, God, they were angels, but they were gold, and they were plastic. Like, they weren't even, like, I don't know. Like, and she had them all throughout her tree, and I think she had a few other things, too. But now we kept a few of those, and now we put those on our tree.
That reminds me, like, we used to have, like, little, like, Cupid baby angels. Like, they were little naked babies, but they were, like, clear or whatever. And we would have those ornaments. Oh, my gosh, like... I literally have forgotten all about those until this moment right now, and I'm pretty sure my mom and my sister have forgotten too. Yeah. And we would have ornaments like, you know, that you make in school and everything, but we never had a star at the top. We had a black angel. Power to the people. She was always on top. I don't even know where she is. I don't even know if we've had her. We've moved so much in my life.
That reminds me too, my mom, she used to have, oh my gosh, what was it? It wasn't an angel. Thing? No, it was like from like one of my first like birthdays or first Christmases. She's gonna kill me because not kill me, but you know what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna have to ask her. I'm gonna ask her what it is.
We had a nativity scene along with our tree, and I'm pretty sure my mom doesn't have it anymore. Doesn't know where it is anymore. I can still ask her. She remembers it, but we had a nativity scene that had baby Jesus, Mary, Joseph, the wise men, the shepherds. It had everything, and I always liked that because I was like, we kept it for us personally. We were Christian, so we kept the story of Jesus' birth, along with everything that we were doing on Christmas. Oh my goodness! All this stuff is like flooding back to me.
I'm texting my mom now to see if she can remember. I don't know where she is, but I'm like, I feel like it was Winnie the Pooh or something, but I don't know. Like I know what it was. Wow, that just popped into my head. Okay. It was a Christmas hat that said Allie's First Christmas.
Aww.
And I think it was Mickey. Like, it was Mickey Santa hat. And then it had in gold Allie's First Christmas.
Aww.
I don't know how I just remember that. And it was funny because I think, like, the last few years when I was in high school, my stepmom was like, okay, I know you guys have had this on the tree for a very long time, but maybe this year can we do a different one?
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember what we ended up putting on top. It might have just been like maybe an angel or like a tree. Or, I don't know. It was just funny. Like all of a sudden she's like, okay, maybe we should like switch it up a little bit.
One thing I also remember is that our tree would always like let's say joy to the world. It would always play music and the lights would flash.
My mom used to have...
I loved it so much.
Like, basically like nativity scenes, but it was like train sets. And it was all like Christmas themed. Like, because I think you still can get it, like from the Hallmark store and stuff. And there'd be little scenes.
Oh, wow.
And it would be like, I don't know if they were glass or like plastic, but they're like little scenes of like maybe they're Christmas in the park or maybe they're, I don't know, just different things. Even I think last Christmas, my boyfriend's sisters, they even had little scenes out like that. And it reminded me of my mom because she used to have a bunch of them too.
Speaking of train sets, my boyfriend loves trains. He loves them. He knows about them. He knows everything. So for Christmas this past year, he got a couple of different things. But he got the Polar Express.
Ooh.
And it was it's like, oh, Laporte, like it does a noise. It comes with the bell. And they put it around the tree at his house. And it was going around. And then my mom, where she had worked, she had gotten this huge train and like a toy train. So I took it and then I like surprised him with it when he came to my dorm.
Aww.
It was already set up and it was going in circles. When he walked in, he just like stared at it all wide-eyed, smiling. He was like, oh my gosh, like it's just a train going around in the middle of the floor, like all big.
That reminds me of the train too. So when I was little, I used to go over to my aunt's house, my grandma's sister, and she had a train set, and it was like the wooden ones, like you'd build it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was the coolest thing ever. Like it was great. That reminded me of the train sets.
I love that, so cute. And it's making me think about like childhood. And
did you play with Lincoln Logs?
I don't know. What do they look like? Oh, I played with those little monkey things that connected.
Oh, monkeys in the barrel. Or
monkeys and something in the barrel. Monkeys something. Where they connected and you like hooked them together.
Mm-hmm. It also reminded me of Toy Story though.
Oh yeah, I love Toy Story. Toy Story is so well done with the animation. It drives me crazy. Like, oh my goodness. It's
like,
just so
even
well
like in 95, like, it was still good.
Yeah, because, like, I think it was the one with Lotso in it. I don't know which one that is.
Toy Story 3.
The kids are going crazy. And just the one scene, you get it for, like, a couple seconds.
Wait, have you seen Toy Story 4?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, sorry, continue.
In the one scene, you see literally all of, these children acting crazy, and it's all animated, and you only see it for a couple seconds, but it's like so many different things happening in the background and this and that. So I'm just really impressed by that.
Toy Story 4, all the different.
Wait, what happened in Toy Story 4? Because maybe I lied. Maybe I didn't see it.
Like when they go on the road trip.
I have not seen it.
Oh
I
my
told
gosh.
a bold-faced lie just now when I said
You
that
have
I
to
did.
watch it. That's something we need to do.
Oh my goodness.
That, like, when you watch that, it feels like it's real. Like, the clarity, like, they even have, like, because they have an antique store in there. And they have, like, the cobwebs. They have, like, every little detail that you would think of, they have it.
Man, the people who get paid to animate and draw and everything, they deserve it because they do a great job. And that's a lot of people working together to make that stuff looks real. Like, it's so impressive. I love it. What's another thing that, like, we could do? Like I said, vlogging, like a trip to Goodwill, eating food, showing old crusty, dusty pictures of ourselves. Oh my!
I'm excited for the eating challenge of the different things.
That'll be funny because the stuff I'm gonna be eating, I know that tastes good. So
yeah, I know the stuff I'm eating. It's gonna be good.
And yo plate is to die for in a good way. But maybe in a spooky way since Halloween's coming up.
Oh, then I have other things. Oh, so I have so many different things.
Oh my goodness!
And then we can make it like a smorgasbord of stuff. But
we have smorgasbord.
You've never heard of that?
I think I have, but
it's basically like a cluster of food that doesn't go together.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
like the best way to
a buffet offering a variety of hot and cold meat salads, hors d'oeuvres, etc. A wide range of something of variety. Yep.
So that's definitely what we're gonna have.
Who made that word? Like
I don't know.
Oh, it's Swedish. Makes sense.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I should tell.
Because when you sound it sounds like it's like a foreign word, and when you say it, like, it makes sense that it's Swedish. Because I understand. I should
use it. My friend in Sweden, see if I seem cool. Like
just randomly say
smorgasbord.
Like what? But thank you for listening to this episode. We're gonna come up with a lot more ideas for you all, so that you can be all interested and want to stay subscribed. Yes. And want to hit the notification bell, and bring other people to the channel. And so, thank you for listening to this episode.